Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video as well as the thumbnail, this is what we are going over here today. This is the Tacticon SRT, or Special Rifle Threat Plate. It is super lightweight. It's comically lightweight. It's also very thin as well. It's 0.6 inches in terms of thickness. The actual dimensions side to side are going to be 9.5 inches by 12.5 inches. Why not 12 by 10? Good question. It is multi-curved, so that's why you get the dimensions being a little bit off, because of all of the curves that contort to your body. So hopefully you guys can get an idea there of that multi-curve. It is also made out of polyethylene, or UHWMPE, but it will sit nice and tight on your body. And did I mention it is lightweight? This thing is, again, 2.57 pounds, super lightweight, comically lightweight. Why does that matter? So anybody who watches the channel knows that, you know, I wore armor for a living for a very long time. I have a bunch of back injuries, and carrying around your standard level 4 plates, which is 8 pounds each, double that up, obviously 16 pounds plus the rest of your kit. Things get heavy, they get heavy real quick, and they get painful real quick. This one here versus your standard level 4 is not going to stop. Well, probably. We'll find out. Probably not going to stop 8.55 or any of your 7.62 by 5.1 armor piercing rounds. That said, it is rated to stop your standard 5.56 rounds, 7.62 by 3.9, some others that we will test out, as well as any pistol round you can throw at it. Of course, we will test that here in just a second, but if you look around the United States, definitely the most common threats that you're going to see out there as a civilian, without question, are pistols. That's unarguable, according to statistics. And even if you're going to encounter rifle threats, most of them are not going to be 8.55. It's certainly possible, but most aren't going to be. Most are going to be guys with like 55 grain or something like that. So it is going to stop the vast majority of rounds that folks are going to encounter. At least it should. We're going to find out. Regardless, one way or another, we always kill the armor here, so we're going to find out where it fails at some point. But again, all made in America, 2.5 pounds, multi-curve rated. Full disclosure, they did send it out for the video. I do have some dirt in a box. It's super redneck, definitely not NIJ lab, and that way it will replicate having a torso on it. And we're going to shoot it and see what it can and can't take with that dirt backer on there. I think that's it. Let's get to it. First round up is going to be some M193. This is Nautilus ammo, and it's going to be coming out of a 16-inch barrel. The plate is downrange at about 15 yards. Palmetto State Armory upper, and let's see what it does. I'm guessing some of y'all who just saw the slow motion think that it penetrated because there's a hole in the box. That's actually from a previous test. Regardless, we did center punch it right there, and you guys can see, had some back face deformation there for sure, but it stopped it. I mean, if you've never felt a plate like this, 2.5 pounds that can stop rifle armor, or rifle rounds rather, it's just crazy. But stopped it just fine. We had some back face deformation for sure, but again, you'd be fine. I don't think you'd have any damage to ribs or anything like that. Let's keep going. Up next, we have some 7.62. This is the Golden Tiger that a lot of folks love, coming out of the GF5, so 16-inch barrel. And if the plate doesn't jump around, which it probably will, if it doesn't, I'll try to put a couple on there. We'll see. As y'all saw, we were able to get 2 on there, all pretty close. So both AK rounds right there. And you can see there on the back, nothing came through. It's starting to stretch that label on there, the manufacturer's label, but it stopped it. A little bit more deformation for sure. So it absolutely does stop what it is rated for. Again, we're at 15 yards. So kind of worst case scenario, should you encounter this with this plate on, regardless, we're going to step it up beyond what it's rated for now and see when and if it'll fail. Now we have something that it is positively not rated for. That is green tip 8.55 pseudo AP, coming out of a 10-inch barrel, 10.4 to be exact. We will see. Place your bets below. Ooh, let's see. Speaking in broad generalities, it's not good when you shoot a plate with a rifle round and it doesn't jump. You kind of want it to jump. That case, it did not jump, and it's because it went through. Now, that said, you guys can see there, that's the 193, that is the 855. They're virtually on top of each other. I'm not sure if that mattered in this particular case, but it did go through there, as you can see. So again, 855, it's just not rated for that. And again, we're at 15 feet. Granted, the barrel's 10.4, but still, it's the design of that round that's going to do it. We have another round that I want to test out. Now that we've seen that and seen how it did, I want to test some light for caliber stuff, because that in the past has definitely penetrated armor. So we will see. Let's get to it. As promised, some light for caliber 45 grain Remington 223. This stuff, again, out of various barrel lengths, has gone through armor before in the past here on the channel, as anybody who's watched a lot of this knows. So we'll see how it does with that extra speed. The plate jumped with that one, which is a good sign. So we had our entrance down here on the lower quadrant of it, and you guys can see there, it did capture it. Obviously we had some deformation, but it stopped that despite the velocity of that round. So that certainly is good. Let's keep going. Speaking of speed, that is what we're going to test out here. Again, we have that Nautilus M193, except this time we have an 18-inch Recce 18 BCM upper. So it is not rated for this. It's not rated for this velocity at this distance. For this round, only one way to find out, kids. As y'all just saw with the slow motion, we had our entrance wound right there, top left quadrant as you would wear it, and then right there on the back, it stopped it. So comparing it to the earlier 193 deformation, it's maybe a little bit more, maybe a quarter inch more, I would say, with that extra velocity, but it stopped it just fine. Not rated for that. And now, since we always get folks here who are new to the channel, it's stopping rifle rounds, so it should have zero issues of any kind stopping pistol rounds. But because, you know, we don't live in the theoretical world, we live in the real world, we're going to shoot it with a bunch of pistol rounds just to make sure it actually stops them. Next up for the plate, we have some 115 grain Minuteman munitions coming out of a 5-inch barreled M&P competitor. Sexy gun. Let's see. Well, I planned on shooting it a few times, but it jumped right on off there. Let's check it out. As y'all just saw, it jumped right off there. Tends to be an indicator that it did stop. Interestingly enough, it literally hit the exact same hole as one of the 7.62 rounds, but absolutely no penetration. Let's verify that with some 45. Next round's up, some 45 grain ball coming out of my CMMG Banshee. We'll just verify it can stop the pistol rounds. Got 2 on that one. Well, y'all just saw the slow-mo, and typically when we change positions on an armor test, it means the plate has failed. That said, this plate already failed. It did not fail with that 45 ACP. You can see there we have absolutely no new holes, and we had one hit right there, so up top, and then we had one hit right down there near the earlier hit with the rifle round, and honestly, it doesn't look like it deformed anymore at all. So there is that. Again, the plate has lived up to everything it promises it will do, and that's really all you can ask of it. A few things that we didn't mention, I think I mentioned it is made out in California, so all American made. One thing I do like about these Tacticon plates, this is the second one I've tested now, is the way they actually seal everything in there. A lot of armor plates, they kind of will wrap it with some fabric, and then once you start shooting it, particularly if you're using UHW MPE, as the layers start to come apart, the actual wrapping will fall apart. And this stuff here is pretty darn durable. It's stretching with it as it expands, so I do like that. Obviously, we've been shooting this not in a carrier. If you're actually in the carrier, you probably see a slight bit less of deformation simply because of the carrier, again, providing a little added resistance for it, but not much. Regardless, one other thing that's always going to be important is going to be price point. So right now, these plates are coming in just over $400. So if you look around at competitive options, it's definitely priced competitively. You know, there's a lot of single curve plates out there that are UHWMPE that are going to be a similar price point, a similar weight. Actually, they all weigh a little bit more. Most of them weigh around 3 pounds, but they're going to be single curve, might be a little bit cheaper, but to get the multi-curve, honestly, I haven't looked at every plate, but I've looked at several, and this is cheaper than most of the options, at least the ones that are made in America anyway. So like I said, it lived up to its rating. And for me, again, I've talked about this in many different videos here on the channel, but what are my personal plates? I don't wear level 4 plates in my personal rigs simply because, again, back injuries, right? Mobility is something you have to consider when it comes to lethality. So, you know, if you're stationary, a level 4 certainly could be good, or if you're young. I know a lot of you guys out there are young and you got no problem carrying around a 40-pound plate carrier. Do you, young man, do you? I'm an old man at this point, so running around with a 40-pound plate carrier is not appealing to me. So the level 3 plus, pick your poison, are definitely what I personally go for in my personal rigs. And this one, I would have no issues at all using this, wearing a plate carrier that used this, and feeling confident in my equipment. So there is that. I suppose that's really it. If you guys have any questions about the plates, anything like that, you can always post those down below in the comments section. If you like this video and you're not subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button. We do 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel. If you're subscribed and you're not and you haven't hit the notification bell, you're still not seeing those videos, sign up for my email list at the website here on your screen. The email goes out once a month, this particular one, and it has all of the videos since the previous month's email went out. So that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content. We've all seen the Twitter file, so we know it goes on. So that certainly is one way to prevent it. I recommend a non-Gmail account. Additionally, should these go on sale, any of the ammo that we use today go on sale, any of the optics, any of the gear, any of the magazines, whatever the case may be, any of that stuff go on sale. It will be in my daily deals email, and you can sign up for that at the website here on your screen. As the name indicates, it goes out every single day, and it has 6 or 7 of the best deals that I find around the internet. So that way, if it's in the email, it's the cheapest I know of anywhere on the internet. It saves you guys some time and hopefully saves you some money. There's usually a pretty good meme in there as well. So folks seem to like it. I have a virtually 0 unsubscribe rate, which is something I'm very proud of. So once you sign up, you tend to stick with it. That really is all I have for you guys. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, you can post them down below. And I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.